Oh my gosh, you wouldn't have saw me again. Don't try and be mates with everyone. One of the stupidest things, I've heard some stories, you will be saving a ridiculous amount, trust me. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the DaneMellowsTalks podcast. I think we've made it to episode 7 now because I threw out a few pre-recorded ones that I've done earlier, well, across the past year. But this week, we are talking about things that you don't know about university before you move into university. Now, obviously, this is going to be targeted towards freshers for this year. But, I mean, through COVID, if you've not had a true uni experience, and I'm going to get into that in another podcast, whether uni's actually been worth it or not. But whether you've had a true uni experience or not, this is going to be useful to you. So make sure you pay attention. I don't know. I'll have a quick count. But how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, right? Some people do 10 to 12, right? I do 13. We've got 13 tips for you before you start university. So this is going to be useful because I've just graduated this year. All right, so I know I can fact check all of these and they are all going to be very useful to you. I've got my laptop in front of me right here and we are ready to go. Tip number 1. I'm definitely going to lose track of these numbers, but tip number 1 is that the group chats that you join through the Facebook pages and all the university freshers pages and things like that to try and find your flatmates, to just try and get a bit of a vibe for university before you actually go to university. They're all really useful before you go to uni, but they die out fast. Don't expect those group chats to be ticking over in 3, 4, 5 years time because they won't be. They will die out pretty fast. And I look back on, because I was still in quite a few. I was still in quite a few of the group chats, but I look back on them now and I know some of my closest friends that I've made at uni were in those group chats and I had no idea. And it's that kind of thing. You try and join them. Well, you join them to try and make you friends before you go to uni. Then you go to uni and you make a different group of friends, which may or may not last throughout uni. You know, there's a bit of a culture around uni and you might get the idea that the people that you meet in your freshers week and maybe even your flatmates, that they will be your friends throughout uni. They won't be. I occasionally speak to one of my original flatmates, and even that is an occasion. I don't know when was the last time we spoke. But you know, you could be very lucky with it. You might not be. You just have to play the cards that you dealt with, and that's just the way it is. But you will have a good time, but just know that the group chats will not last. Okay. I've actually jumped the gun a bit here because my tip number 2 was you might not find your group straight away at uni, but I can carry on a little bit on that because, like I was saying, even if it's the first people you meet from your course, from the flat next door, from the people in your building, just from people you bump into around campus, around the city, wherever you are, they might not be the people for you. And it might seem like they are straight away, and that's all well and good for Freshers Week. You always have like your Freshers Week group, and that may or may not be your group that'll last. They may continue as a group and you drift off to somewhere else. A mix of everything. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but you will find your group eventually. It could take a day, it could take a week, it could take 3 or 4 months, it could take 3 years of uni until you're finally within a group at uni. But once you're in that group hopefully will last past uni. Like the group I'm with now, I've been seeing over summer. I'm going to see a couple of them this weekend. And hopefully that is going to continue. And they say like at uni, you make friends for life. So hopefully I've done that and hopefully you will too. Okay, something that you won't know about uni, tip number 3, is everyone always says to join societies and sports teams. And I've rinsed that tip so much on the content that I've done for the uni. So that's not the tip. The tip is that the societies and sports teams, they're not free. So the sports teams especially, but let me hit on societies first. So I think radio, our membership for the 3 years I was there, and my 3rd year there, I was station manager, so I was in control of this membership. It was £10, I believe, £10, which isn't like, I've got like a hair dangling down in front of me here. Sorry, £10 is not extortionate at all for a society membership. For the full year, you get access to the studio, you get to make as many radio shows and podcasts as you want, you get to be a presenter, producer, this, that, and the other. That was really good. And I think that also came with, at least for the first 2 years, that came with a free bit of merch, like a hoodie or a t-shirt or something, whatever you wanted with that. But oh my gosh, some of the sports teams, you're talking 70 to 100 plus pound to join for the year. Like, yeah, that includes like kits and training and whatnot, but like, my gosh, that's a lot of money. That is, and I know someone who joined one of the sports teams this year at uni and didn't go once. Paid for it. They paid the membership and didn't go once. It was absolutely mad. Something that I will touch on now as well is that if you get to a certain point in uni, and this will get pushed on you a lot as just like a bit of advice. Other than me and my friends, I don't know anyone else who's done it. But you can start your own society at uni if you don't really find one that really fits your vibe. We started one for a massive laugh, which now I've finished, I can't say that. We started the Extreme Ironing Society, which was because, I wanted to get all my friends involved in the socials and going out, dressing up, which I'll touch on later on in the list. But yeah, find a society or a sports team for you, because the socials run with both. And if there isn't one for you, then start one up. You can also start up a sports team, but you can't just make up a sport, obviously. Extreme ironing is a real sport, though. A little fun facts for you there. But we did know extreme ironing. We did know ironing, to be honest. Okay, so the next tip, what are we on now? 4. Tip number 4 is that you will lose contact with a lot of your home friends. And that is just fundamental fact. If you're at the uni down the road, then yeah, probably not. It's just standard. You probably will see your mates from home a lot still. But if you move in an hour plus away, it's going to be hard to maintain contact with your friends from home while also making new friends and keeping up contact and going out and trying to see them and enjoy your uni life as much as possible on the other side of the country. Don't get me wrong, it's not impossible to keep your friends from home. I still have a lot of friends from home, but a load of people from school and college that I've just not spoke to in years. And it's just natural. It is just like a natural progression in life that you drift away from more people, but uni like hones in on that, and uni kind of will make that separation. And your friends that are your actual friends, don't get me wrong, they'll stick around and you'll still be mates and everything. But the friends that are just there, like just casually, and that you see out and about, you won't see out and about anymore because you're not there. And they might not be there either. And nothing happens, but it's just, you will like kind of drift off just naturally. And that's fine. So don't worry about that. Right, okay, tip number 5. Now, my flat in first year wasn't too bad for this. Actually, it wasn't really bad at all for this. This had never really happened to me. But I've heard some stories, right? I've heard some stories of food and drinks being stolen out of cupboards. Now, at Hull, in Westfield Court, I absolutely loved Westfield Court. I can't really complain about much of it. But one of the stupidest things in the flat was that they had locks on the cupboards. Now, that's not stupid. That's actually very smart. But the locks didn't lock. You could twist it so you couldn't open your cupboard, but all you had to do to unlock it was twist it. There was no key. It was just like an extra handle. The only thing that it would have stopped getting in there was wind. The cupboards couldn't have been blown open if you locked them, but if I wanted to go to someone else's cupboard, it was as simple as twisting it and opening it, and I could have any of their stuff. Obviously, I didn't do that, and as far as I know, they didn't do that to me either. The only thing that they used was my fairy liquid. I had to buy so much fairy liquid. But the tip is to store some food and your alcohol in your room, because your room you can lock, and they shouldn't be walking into your room without your permission. If you're not in there, they should not be going in your room. If you're in there, they should not. You know what I mean? So it should be safe in your room. What I did, I had like this massive crate of things like rice and pasta and just some biscuits and a few sweets and stuff under my bed, which that was really useful to me, because if I wanted like a morning in, or if I'd got hungry at night, then I'd just grab a biscuit or something out of there, and that, like I say, it's really helpful that you don't have to walk all the way to the kitchen to get anything. You've got it stored under your bed. But with alcohol's expensive. Even if you're going down to Lidl, Aldi, and you're getting the cheapest ones, it's still a bit out of your bank account. So you don't want that being stolen. You mix in stuff, keep in the kitchen if you want. What's that? A pound a penny? A penny a pound? I don't know that phrase. But they're quite cheap, especially in Aldi and Lidl, which I'll get onto in a bit. But you can get them for a dime a dozen, whatever that phrase is, okay? But your actual alcohol, your vodkas, your gins, your rums, everything, keep that in your room. Just a lot of people in first year also like to decorate the room with alcohol to, keep up with the stigma that all uni students are alcoholics. They have all the bottles like plastered along the like the decorating cupboard thing. Yeah, if you want to do that, do whatever you want, but put your alcohol in a safe place is what I'm saying. And also, it's fine if you don't want to drink. I'm just saying, from the perspective of someone that did drink at uni, keep it safe. Nothing wrong with keeping it safe. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. What tip are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tip number 6. I definitely should have numbered these. I'm already getting confused. Tip number 6 is to email yourself backups of your uni assignments. So this really is something that I only started doing in third year because I was stressed over losing my dissertation, because I'd heard the horror stories, and you will as well going through uni. Oh, this person lost everything, the laptop crashed, the hard drive didn't back up properly the week before the deadline. That wasn't going to be me. That was not going to be me. I can't tell you how much storage I must have used up on my Google account, on my Gmail account, that I was just backing up my dissertation and all my assignments in my third year. Third year is hectic with work. And don't get me wrong, you can have a good time and stuff as well if you find that balance. And luckily I did, but I would not have been able to find it if that work was not backed up, especially if I lost it. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't have saw me again. I would have been in the library for the entire year. Oh yeah, I was very glad that I backed it up. And listen, pen drives, back it up. And also hard drives, if you got them, back it up. But a very, very easy way to back it up is just to email it to yourself, because then it's saved then on the internet. You can always go back to it. You can log back into your Gmail account on another device and you can download it there. So just do that. Don't just be the one listening to the horror stories. Don't be the one telling them. Okay? I should write a book, I'm telling you. What we got next? That was tip number 6. So tip number 7. Okay, yeah, these are a little bit all over the place. So I just wrote these when I was in bed last night. But tip number 7, ask people to go out for a drink, or to go out for a coffee, or to go out to grab some ice cream or something like that. Obviously, you need to know them a certain level. You need to know a certain... What am I trying to say? You need to know them a little bit. You need to have some form of contact with them beforehand. But whether it's you spoke to them on the uni group chats before before Freshers Week, or whether it's you bumped into them on a night out, it's a friend of a friend, whatever, just be friendly. Everyone's in the same boat at the start of uni. So what you need to do is just drop them a message. Hey mate, fancy going for a drink at whatever pub. You know, the odds are they're going to say yeah, because they're definitely going to be in the same boat as, okay, I've moved into a new city, I don't know anyone here. If they're getting asked, oh, do you want to do something with someone new? Oh my gosh, yeah, sign me up, I'm going straight there. If someone messaged me in Freshers Week, was like, oh yeah, going down to the pub, right, yeah, I'm ready to go. I was already dressed, I was waiting, you know. But no, it's just that simple thing of, if you can have the confidence to just say, do you want to do something? It could simply be just, oh, I'm going to go put my washing in. Have you got anything you need to put in? So just find an activity that you can do with someone else, okay? And just invite someone new on it. My point of saying make sure that you've already bumped into them already or something like that is just don't go and invite a random stranger that you have on Facebook that you don't know who it is. Just make sure that you have some sort of interaction with them first, you know. But yeah, it's as simple as that. And there'll be things for you to do in Freshers Week anyway. Some like people be having flat parties and like little mixes to get everyone to know each other. People will be going down to the pub, going on nights out, having prees, going around all the freshers events, the sports fairs, the societies fairs. There's so much to do that you can then go and mix with other people in there. And odds are people that maybe you know from the Facebook group chats, or people from your flat, as you go out with one of them, they'll see someone that they know from the Facebook group chats, and then they might be walking around with their flat, which then you've now met a friend of a friend and their entire flat. Do you know what I mean? It's just very much like that, and you can kind of get a vibe of who you're going to connect with and who you kind of want to be mates with and things like that. And that's another thing. Don't try and be mates with everyone. No one's got time to be mates with everyone. Okay, I think we're on tip number 8. Meal plan your foods before you shop. So it's honestly a massive money saver if you can know what you're going to be eating throughout the week. If you know you have the same cereal every single day, that's amazing. That's a money saver right there. Buy that one cereal, get enough milk for the week, boom, breakfast sorted for the entire week. If you're very simple and you'll have like a sandwich for lunch, or you know, you make some toasties or something like that, bread, your ingredients, butter, that's it, you're done, right? That's lunch done for the week. Okay, obviously tea is a little bit different, or dinner, depending on where you're from. But I say tea, breakfast, dinner, tea, right? Fight me on it. For tea, it's a little bit different because you're going to want to have something different every single night. But say if you make some form of, say if you're making some form of pasta on Monday night, a little tip that I used to do is I'd purposely make too much. Everyone makes too much pasta anyway, but I'd purposely make too much of everything, tub some up for what I don't eat, and then that's lunch the next day. So then I'd save on, I wouldn't need to buy sandwiches or anything. I'd just buy a lot for tea every night and make excess, tub it up the next day, boom, you got lunch, easy. So yeah, there's definitely that. But if you can plan out what you're having, then it means that you're not going to have like, bread that's going to go off because you know exactly what you're using. You know, that's a bit of a stupid example because you might not use up all your bread. But listen, it works, okay? Plan what you're having and then you will spend less. And then you can spend more money in the club or the pub or whatever you like to do, all right? More money savers is tip number 9. So I've got 4 on this. First one is the Santander rail card. Now, I don't know why I never capitalised on this. I knew about it from the start of uni, never once got it, right? Big regret, because it's like £30 a year for the, 18 to 25 rail card, and I've still got one now, and it's just a bit of a money saver. £30 a year is a decent amount that you can save up, and then you get the rail card, which you're saving so much on that, like probably 1 or 2 trips easy on the train, depending on how far you're going. You've saved your money with that £30. And if you're getting the Santander £30 for free, then boom, you're laughing. Honestly, you need to get that. Next one is uni days. You're a student, use that student discount because you will get it in so many places. Let me try and think. I know Superdrug does it. I don't know why that's the only place I can think of right now. I know Jack Wills does it. I don't know, but they do it. Oh, ASOS does it. Boohoo potentially, not too sure. But yeah, there's so many places, and also a lot of the clubs that I went to around Hull. Well, some of them, they required a student ID if you wanted to get in for free. And one of my mates one time didn't have his on him, and it might have actually been after we'd finished, but before we graduated. So we were technically students. I had mine. Oh no, I didn't have mine either. But I was like, I can use my uni days. So what I did was I changed the picture on my uni days to him, took a screenshot of it, sent it to him, changed it back to me. I used it on mine. He used the screenshot. We both got it for free. We were laughing, right? But uni days will save you a lot of money no matter what. And then the next one for money saving is something that I know I've already mentioned, but Aldi and Lidl, they are your go-to shops. For your food, if you have an Aldi or a Lidl near you, you're winning. You're ahead of the game, okay? Tesco's, yeah, it's great if you've got the club card. Apparently Asda's doing some great stuff with some cheap food at the moment. But yeah, Aldi and Lidl is definitely, they need to be your go-tos. I know someone that used to get a taxi down to Asda in first year to do the shopping. I don't know why, because you had Lidl down the road. If you're getting a taxi anyway, go to the Aldi. But yeah, they might have actually got the taxi to the Aldi. Regardless, Aldi and Lidl, they are so cheap. It's unbelievable. Do a shop in Tesco and then do a shop in Aldi and Lidl. Do a shop in Asda, then do a shop in Aldi and Lidl. Do a shop in Waitrose, my gosh, God forbid. Then do a shop in Aldi and Lidl, all right? See how much money you're saving. You will be saving a ridiculous amount, trust me. That is tip number 9, I think. Oh my God. It could be number 8. Listen, I don't know. The next tip is you don't need to get everything from Ikea. I know that Ikea is known as like the big uni shop, and I think I got some of my plates and like those blue glasses from Ikea as well. Maybe my cutlery as well. Not too sure. But Ikea, if there's something that you don't see that you like in Ikea, if you don't find a bedding that you like in Ikea, go to somewhere else. Dunelm. I got loads of stuff from Dunelm from mine, and just weigh up the prices for it, and don't get the most expensive stuff because you don't need it, and don't think that you're going to need to take literally a version of everything that you have at home to uni, because there'll be stuff there for you. For the life of me, I can't remember if my accommodation in my first year came with a bin, but I left with it. I took that bin with me, and it's there. I'm looking at it right now, and listen, I don't know if that was my bin or not. I'm pretty sure I bought a bin, but then no one else seemed to have a bin in the room. So listen, things happen. Westfield Cut, Don't sue me. I did you a room tour. But yeah, like I say, you don't need to get everything from Ikea. Find some other places. Just get some things that you already have at home. If you got some spares, take them with you. You don't need everything from Ikea. But definitely go and have a look around, because it's a great day out and it's dead fun. And you will find a lot of good stuff from there. Right. Next tip. We're almost at the end now. Next tip is, first year doesn't count. You only need your 40% to pass through, but don't flop it. Don't mess up your first year. Everyone always says, and they said it to me, oh yeah, get your 40% and then get to the club. Listen, right, if you're doing that, then I don't think you're going to uni for all the right reasons. Don't get me wrong, first year, I know it doesn't count. Have a good time. Practice messing up in your first year. And I don't mean intentionally mess up, but if you do mess up, it's fine. Learn from what learn from your mistakes in that. And that's, I guess, true for your course and outside your course, for your uni life as well. Learn from your mistakes. You will definitely make a lot of mistakes in first, second, and third year. But for your course, first year doesn't count. I think for my very first essay, I wrote it as an A-level essay rather than a uni essay, because I didn't know what a uni essay was. So I think I got like a 50 in it, maybe even a high 40. So it was not a good score. This is out of 100. And it's a 70 for a first, 60 for a 2-1, 50 for a 2-2, something like that anyway. And yes, I did not do well in it. But I sat down with my lecturer and I had a bit of a meeting with him. And he was like, yeah, so you're writing it like a college essay. This is how you write it like a uni essay. And then my next grade, boom, it was fine. I did great with it. But it's that you need to be willing to fail to be able to succeed with them. So don't worry about if you're not doing the best in your first year, but also try to do your best, because don't get stressed over revising, and you don't need to spend every single hour of the day in the library. But if you're not trying in your first year, then your second year is going to be the year that's full of mistakes that you can actually learn from. And then it's only going to be in your third year that you're actually getting things right. And second and third year, they count. I think second year for me was 30%, third year was 70%. It might be 40, 60. Listen, I don't know. I don't know the figures. But just make sure that you try in your first year, because in a way, you're learning from your mistakes. So it kind of does count in that sense. But nothing counts on paper, but still try your best. I know I'm rambling a bit on that point, but just go along with it when people are like, oh yeah, get your 40% and then get to the club, but just still actually try. Okay, right, next one. We are getting a bit more on to the nightlife now. Next tip is make sure you drink at pre's. Don't go overboard straight away. Don't be that one person who's thrown up 5 minutes into pre's and then someone has to sit with you and miss the night out, right? Don't be that person, because no one likes that person. But make sure you get drunk at pre's. Make sure it's gradual, but make sure you get drunk at pre's, because wherever you are, I went to Hull, very cheap place for drinks, very cheap place for a night out if you do it right. But drink at pre's. If you get drunk at pre's, then it means that you're not spending a lot of money when you're out there, because drinks can be expensive. It's not free to get into a lot of nightclubs. Like I say, student IDs come in handy a lot of the time, but a lot of nightclubs, they won't let you in for free. So make sure you drink at pre's. What advice am I giving right now? Because in third year, I got to a point where I think I had a full bottle of vodka. It was a house party, so we weren't planning on going out afterwards, but I had a full bottle of vodka. Don't get me wrong, I was pretty drunk that night, but I just couldn't believe that I had one full bottle all to myself in one night. That was very gradual across the 3 years. But my point is, what I've been saying, drink at pre's and you won't have to spend as much money as you go out. A lot of these tips will be money savers. Okay, and the final, potentially 13th, maybe 14th, I don't know, but the final tip for this podcast is going to be, make sure you have some fancy dress for socials. My sister started uni the year before I did, so I kind of had like the vibe that, you know, the socials, you have some weird themes. And literally anything that you can take could come in handy. I think I took a camo bandana, which I don't actually know if I actually ever used that, but I had it there with me. I had a school shirt and my school tie, because they had a school days night or a back to school uniform kind of thing for a night out. That definitely came in handy. I think we did that 3 years running. yeah, literally, I went as a chicken for Halloween one year, went as Spider-Man for another, I wore a cape for another one of those. What did I go as for Halloween this year? Oh, that was the chicken. First year I just wore a cape. Second year was Spider-Man. Yeah. But honestly, you will find so many different things. I think some of the socials we've done an iron in this year, cowboy socials with cartoon characters. We did superheroes and villains. We did grannies and grandpas. Literally everything. Have a look on the Extreme Ironing page if you want. A lot of them are up there. My gosh. But yes, if you can bring anything that in some way, shape, or form will help you put together a fancy dress, then you're winning with it. You are. But yeah, so that has been my list for things that you don't know about university that you need to know before you go. I'll come up with a better title for that before I post this. But thank you very much for watching, listening. Make sure that you're subscribing and commenting and rating or whatever on Spotify. But thank you very much. I'm really enjoying this podcast so far, and I hope you are too. So I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.